At this time, the British Army was going through an amazing transformation with intense training and discipline, creating a powerful and professional force. Kevin? Well, so why was this such an important time for the British Army?
It was a massive change. Prior to the 1790s, the British Army had been in a terrible state. Yeah, let me just put this pack down.
Structural, training and logistical reforms brought in by Prince Frederick, the Duke of York, in the late 1790s created a highly trained army with a professional officer corps who drilled their men into an effective fighting force.
That is good.
What is that?
This is a leather stock and it's designed to keep your chin up. It's all part of the discipline, the new way of looking at the army. You've got to understand that prior to the changes by the Duke of York, uniforms didn't match. Yeah? And this is just one way of keeping the soldiers' head up. The Duke of York, he brought in so many changes. For a start off, to be a colonel of a regiment, you had to inspire your men. And they started to train staff officers. They brought in an organisation, the wagon train, so that the wagon train, instead of it being corrupt and stuff being sold, the food did arrive for the soldiers. Okay. So supplies followed the army. But there was a very simple thing, which today people will go, what? Tents.
Okay.
So you all had the same tents.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually make a camp from tents. Prior to these reforms, soldiers made their own, they bivouacked their own.
Okay.
So you had this hodgepodge of soldiers with sticks, bits of canvas, goodness knows what, even just a blanket over them. The soldiers and the men were very, very tough indeed, but this just made it easier to move a battalion of men, and it keeps them together, and you get something from that, regimental pride.
It was all well and good being well drilled, but what the redcoat really needed to become deadly was an effective weapon. New, highly accurate rifled guns like the Baker rifle were starting to be used in small numbers on the battlefield, but this is the gun they were using, the legendary Brown Bess musket. It was a deadly weapon in skilled hands, and the British had very skilled hands, as I was to find out.
I recognise this. This is the legendary Brown Bess, is it not, Ian?
It certainly is. It's one of the models. They made quite a few over the different years, different lengths. They were fairly standard bore, but that is the legendary weapon itself.
And it was so legendary that it stayed in service for quite a long time, didn't it?
It did, yes. It was coming in sort of early versions of it at the end of the English Civil War, and it went right up through it was the main weapon of the Napoleonic Wars. The standard infantryman would be expected to fire about 2 rounds a minute.
Okay.
The real trained marksman would fire 3 rounds a minute in any weather, but that really took quite a trained man to do that.
Right.
And they could keep that up for a sustained period of time.
Ian took me through the laborious loading process. First off, I primed the pan with gunpowder. Then, with the musket standing upright, a powder charge is poured down the barrel. The musket ball is added and rammed home, and then I'm ready to fire.
Oh, Ian, how good was that? Was that good? Did I get it?
That was a pretty good shot, I would think, yes.
Where did I get it?
I think you find it's just in the right-hand side of his torso there.
Oh, right-hand side of the torso.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very laborious though, isn't it, to load? I mean, how many times would you have to load this again per minute?
Well, two rounds a minute, 3 rounds for a marksman. So.
Okay. What can you do? Because I mean, obviously that was the first time I've ever tried to load it.
We can give it a try. I may make 3, but the pressure may slow me up. Okay. I'm not an infantryman, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Okay, there's your first cartridge. So when we're going to start the clock? From now?
From when I take the first cartridge.
Okay, you've got to do 3, okay? That was the best marksman, wasn't it?
Yep.
3 rounds. Okay, ready? Go. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Misfire.
1. Oh, 1 minute! Oh! Last one, let's see. One minute, 42 seconds. Oh, Ian, that was pretty impressive. You got 2 in a minute.
2 is the easy bit. Getting the third one under pressure, especially, is really hard.
The pressure was getting to you there at the end then. So, but can you imagine having the wave of troops lining up? They must have been under such pressure.
Well, that's why they were drilled and drilled and drilled into firing 2 and possibly 3 rounds a minute.
Now, you had a misfire there a little bit, didn't you? But you corrected it really quickly and then fired.
That's one of the problems with flintlocks. They don't always fire first time. Right. Flints don't last forever. Around about 20 shots, and your flint is really starting to get a bit worn.
Should we go and have a look to see the damage that we've done?
See how many we've got put in the man.
Yeah. What I can't get over is that I mean, what are we at? 25 metres?
We are, yes, about 25 metres, and that's really quite a good range for a Brown Bess.
Wow. So, you know, you let one round off, and before you know it, by the time you've loaded the next one, they're literally right on you. So they're coming. They're going to be right in your face, aren't they?
They are, yes, yeah.
It's going to be terrifying.
And that period of battlefield, it was up close and personal.
Very up close and personal. Oh, look at that one. That's yours there, right in the middle.
That was mine. Yeah, that was mine, dead centre.
Yeah. Is that yours?
And this is another one of mine, a bit lower down.
Oh, where did your third one go? Because I think that's definitely that was mine from earlier.
That was your first shot earlier. I think it might have been a bit of beginner's luck, but it was certainly would have caused a nasty injury on a battlefield.
Yeah, you would certainly know about it if that went through you, wouldn't you?
That would have been through your lung and would have given you a very bad day.
But look how it's ripped through that target. I mean, that's quite a thick piece of wood. It's just ripped straight through it, isn't it?
These were a low velocity, but quite a large round. And if you got hit by one, it was going to really hurt.
So it really wasn't sort of aim at something in particular, it was literally just let off a huge volley of balls and just pile it into your enemy.
If you could hit somebody in their torso, they were going to go down on the ground and they were out of the battle. But you were hoping that you could break the enemy ranks before they actually got to you.
So they had to be so disciplined and so trained.
They were drilled and drilled and drilled in there.